Why would you say you were gonna call me when you get home and you never called me when you got home? So you say you were gonna call me when you get out the shower and you never call me when you get out the shower. I'm finna start my period. I don't got time for this. I don't.
If you were the firstborn daughter, there's a high chance you're the most parentified sibling. Growing up, you learn to caretake people around you in order to manage your environment. Maybe you listened to your mom complain about your dad, or you cleaned up after your siblings because you knew if there was a mess, your dad would go into a rage. During all of this, you didn't have a parent who was noticing your anxiety. You didn't have someone to reflect your reality back to you, which is actually how you develop a sense of self. You might even have had a parent who denied what was happening, or who pretended that what was happening wasn't happening at all, making you even more anxious and making you want to control the situation even more. So from a young age, you're wired to please and to smooth things over. You believe that the only way to be seen is through achievement, by being easy, or by projecting the image of a perfect family. You're always performing because you learn that's the only way to be seen.
Isn't it interesting that as daughters growing up in patriarchal households, our parents will often want us to be smart and intelligent, and especially to appear smart and intelligent to their inner circles and outer circles. But once we start to stand up for ourselves and call out toxic behaviors on their parts towards us, then suddenly we're infantilized. Suddenly we don't know much about the world. Suddenly our intelligence is inconvenient for them because they can't show it off anymore. Not only are we no longer giving them something to brag about, we're also triggering something inside of them that needs to be worked on, where they come face to face with the fact that they aren't perfect and that they are not owed unconditional respect and unconditional tolerance for their behavior towards us. It's not that a lot of our parents don't want us to be smart, it's that they only want us to be smart on their terms. They are selective about the kinds of intelligence that they will allow, yet they expect us to protect ourselves from the world beyond them when they're not here for us.
I don't know if it's like my face or something, but like I think I have a face that like people feel very comfortable telling me things, and that's lovely, right? I'm glad that people find a safe space in me. I remember I used to work near the casino. This was like what, last year. This lady told me how all of a sudden she's like, oh my god, I really love your hair. My grandkids don't know that I'm here. Like I took $1,000. They're trying to like save the money away from me, but I lost it all. I was like, that's not like the first time that things like this have happened, right? And like what's strange is that oftentimes, like, you know, I hear it comes in one ear, out the other. But I find this within my personal relationships too, that again, I'm happy that my friends are able to tell me these things, like stuff that's going on with their lives. But what I noticed too is that it's not reciprocal sometimes, and I think that kind of gets to me, where almost I'm a sink for people to tell their things to, but I never feel as if I have the space to say my own things, because maybe it's the way that I reply. I'm pretty attentive when people like tell me things, but I find that oftentimes like I cannot tell these same friends what I want, like what's going on with me, because I know that I will leave the interaction disappointed. And I'm doing this video because I'm like, I want to do better with that, because I know part of that is really my fault, because I put myself as someone who can just handle everything, and I'm coming to grips with the fact that, surprise surprise, I really cannot handle everything. And I know that like oftentimes a lot of other people feel this too. I was seeing all these videos about like eldest sibling, eldest daughter in particular, and how, you know, you bring that into other relationships. I know that in and of myself, that like as the oldest daughter of 4, I love my family. I am very accustomed to say the least, of I'm never in trouble. I'm good. I always got my stuff going on, but I will be there to help everybody else. And especially as I'm in this transition phase, if I do say, thinking about leaving not thinking about leaving uni, I'm about to graduate, let me not say it like that, but I'm about to graduate uni. I think like I've been in this whole transition, being in a different country and everything like that. I've needed help, and I'm so used to not asking for help, and I know a lot of my friends are used to me not asking for help. So now that I do ask for help, it's like, ooh, you know. So there are a few things I've been trying. I think like the most basic one that has helped has just been like, imagine it's not me in this situation, but one of my friends, like what would I say during that? I I think a lot of CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, has been definitely invaluable in the sense of recognizing that, surprise, surprise, I'm not a strong guy. I don't want to be a strong guy anymore, but there's still difficulty in that, right? Because I think that growing up, I developed this hyper independence, and it served me at this time to get through what I need to get through, right? But it no longer serves me. It's actually quite detrimental, because now I am more or less, not more or less, like closed off. I don't think closed off is the right word, but I am fearful of letting people know that, hey, I'm going through something, because of fear of, oh, what if they disappoint me? You see that type of thing, right? I'm going into this thing thinking that people are going to disappoint me, and it is something that's, I recognize in and of myself that is difficult and I'm struggling with. But if I want to have deeper connections with people, because I know there are many people I'm acquainted with now, many people that, you know, I would go out with, I'd have a good time, but few people that I'm like, hey, I need, and it's not even like anything crazy, right? Like stuff like, oh, let me think of something, actually. See, I'm like really bad at this. But like, okay, if it's not something major, like when I had my accident, like I'm not calling for people, right? I remember like I needed a fan, right? And I went to go pick it up like west of where I'm living. And I was telling my friend, like I was about to ask him like, hey, can you pick me up? And then I realized like, oh, I'm about to ask a man to pick me up. I'm okay. And there's nothing even wrong. And he's like, hey, you need me to pick you up? Like I can pick you up. I'm like, no, it's okay. It's okay. And I struggled with myself taking that fan instead of just asking for help. Like that's ridiculous. So most definitely something. And I don't know, I feel validated that I'm not the only one. And I think it's nice too that I'm like learning the origin of where this is occurring. That's not an excuse. I'm not going to go around saying like, oh, it's because of this, it's because of that, that's why I'm like this and I can't change. No, it's good to know where it's coming from so I can deal with it at the source of just as symptoms. But yeah, thank you.